We are late, but we will finish on time. The creative industry sector contributed 109 billion UK pound, if there's any other pound, in their economy in 2021. Now, there's context to this. In the US between 2021 or 2020 and 2021, the total economic value added by the arts and the cultural industries grew by 13.7%. This surpasses the increase of the total US economy, which grew by 5.9% in the same period. In Kenya, the creative economy has become an important contributor to economic growth for developing countries. The creative industries employ more youth than any other sector in Kenya. It has shown resilience to the impact of global economic crisis, making it an essential pillar of social economic growth. What about South Africa? Well, the direct impact of the cultural and creative industries in 2018 was 74.39 billion rand, equivalent to 1.7% of South Africa's GDP. This contribution of the CCI has grown at an average of 2.4% between 2016 and 2018, compared to the whole South Africa's economy, which grew only by 1.1% per year in that period. Why then are the creative and cultural industries not given the attention they deserve? And what should be done? Well, I guess that's why we're here today. That's why we're going to have a dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Rams Mabote, and I'm privileged to be your host this morning. There's a phrase that gets used in South Africa. I'm not used to it yet. It's called program director. Yeah, I'll get to it. So to all the political parties here, the activists, the artists, the creatives, members of the media, those who are going to speak and participate in the debate, you are welcome. Before I call on the host to welcome us, I just need to ask for a few things. Can we please keep our phones on silent? Secondly, if you have to go to the loo, please don't raise your hand, just go. But preferably do it when nobody's on stage presenting. Let's not disrupt the program. I will be a little strict on time for everybody coming here because we have a hard stop and we need to get to the hard stop on time. But most importantly, I'm going to ask for your participation. The program is divided in two. We're going to have 3 speakers welcoming us from the 3 organizations hosting us: the Sunday Times, the Creative and Cultural Industries Federation of South Africa, and the Copyright Coalition of South Africa. They're going to welcome us. And then we're going to have a debate or a conversation, a dialogue between political parties on this creative and cultural industry matter that we're dealing with. During that, we will have a break between the 2 sessions. The break will be briefer than what we were told earlier because we're trying to save time. But also when the political parties come to speak, we're also going to give them lesser time to introduce themselves so that we get to the debate quicker than the introductions, because I don't trust Tebogo. He can introduce himself for too long. So we'd rather have him speak in the debate than introducing himself for too long. And on that note, I'm going to call up the Deputy Editor of the Sunday Times, Mike Siluma, a fellow podcaster, to welcome us to this building.
Dumelang, Sanbonani, Absheni, good morning to everyone. On behalf of the Sunday Times and Arena, who are our owners and landlord, I'd like to welcome everyone to this morning's deliberations about the creative and cultural sector. I'd like first to thank our sponsors, SAMRO and the IPO, as well as partners, CCI, FSA, as well as the Copyright Coalition of South Africa. As well, to welcome the broad leadership of the creative and cultural sector who are present this morning. I realize that we have got representatives of political parties here. They are also welcome. I see Mr. Mthethwa sitting there in his resplendent red. Welcome to you and welcome to everyone who's representing the political parties. It looks like some of the leaders either have not yet arrived or they are not coming. I'm not sure what is going on that front. But just to say that as the Sunday Times, we honored to play host to a conversation about the state of the creative and cultural sector because of its importance in our national life. I think that how shall I call you, Rams? You said you don't want to call it program director. As our program manager has indicated that the creative arts are very important, actually. In many other countries, you know, they are not the sector that goes cap in hand with a begging bowl asking for money, you know. They actually are an industry by themselves and contributing to the economic growth, you know, of those countries. Properly nurtured and supported, the sector can make a significant contribution to the economy, including, as has been said before, creating jobs, to, you know, particularly in sectors where ordinarily you would not have job opportunities, you know, that you do not need to have big factories and large infrastructure to create jobs. Therefore, it is because of its low barriers, you know, of entry, it allows young people from, for example, you can be in a rural area and make it in the arts. You know, you don't have to have Wi-Fi or lots of money or that kind of thing. But as the saying goes, that for the creative arts to make its contribution to the economy, it requires to be supported and nurtured. It requires investment. You know, we often say, what you get in is what you get out. So if we don't support the creative arts appropriately, they will not be in a position to, you know, to assist, you know, and to contribute to our economic growth. I just wanted to say that it's perhaps appropriate that today's conversations are hosted by a media company. Because although we might miss that at face value, the media and the arts perform a similar role in society, which is to tell the South African story. You know, they both tell us about the good and the bad in society, about the happy and the sad, and they also seek to entertain. Both of them also serve to hold a mirror to society in the way that they work. So there is a natural affinity and partnership that occurs between the media and the creative arts. And I just would like, mindful of the time pressures that we are under, that Rams has alluded to. I just want to say that on behalf of the Sunday Times and Arena Holdings, we welcome you into our space, and we wish you a constructive and productive session this morning. Thank you very much.
It's a privilege, Brother Mike, to put you under pressure. After knowing you for almost 2 decades, putting me under pressure. So thank you very much for keeping to the time. I'm going to apologize up front, Lisiba Motwa, that I was going to introduce Joy Mbewana as the speaker for CIFSA, and I had a 340-word intro for them, but it has changed. So I have nothing about you, Lisiba, and it's nothing personal. So I do apologize for that, but our next speaker is from CIFSA, and it's Lisiba Motwa.
Thank you. I understand. Well, I'm going to be speaking on behalf of the president of CIFSA, who was supposed to be here as the program director has indicated, and is unable to be here, but she sent me a few notes so that I don't speak my mind, because I can really go all over the place. So thank you, program director, for affording me a few minutes to make a brief contribution and comments to the overview, and an overview of the cultural and creative industry on behalf of the Cultural and Creative Industry Federation of CIFSA. Its members across 9 provinces and 45 identified subsectors of our creative economy. I stand before you on behalf of thousands of creatives across the country, the chairpersons of CIFSA in 9 provinces, and over 40 districts in the country. It is an honor and privilege to be here to represent these leaders. It is even much greater honor to be here with the esteemed guests that will be having today speaking to us, the politicians, industry experts, and other practitioners, and your contribution that you'll share with us. Allow me, Chairperson, before I go too far, to thank the leadership of Arena, Sunday Times, and its entire management and staff for allowing us to be here. It is through their guidance and efforts that we are able to be here today. Siyabonga. Arena and its companies are part of us, in case some of you may be wondering why Sunday Times and why Arena. This is our home. Through their newspapers and publishing division, they are part of our books and publishing sector. Through their music division, they are part of our performance and celebration. Through their film production and other divisions in that regard, they are part of the audiovisual division. So we are at home. This is our home, and it makes sense that they came forward to want to partner and assist us in this discussion, and we are very grateful. We also are grateful, obviously, to Chola, CCSA, to Colin, and others that are part of this engagement, who have always been with us in this journey. I'm not going to be very long on the South African cultural and creative industry. I know I'm supposed to be speaking a lot on that, but I do not want to take the words out of Eugene Mthethwa and Tebogo and other guests that are going to be sharing with us in that regard. The leadership of Arena and Sunday Times, this is just the beginning of many. We hope that you'll stay with us throughout all this journey as we try to figure out how this industry is going to help us solve the problems that we face as a country. The discussion today is about the industry contributing, like all other sectors of the economy, to creating much needed jobs, to helping us to solve the problems that we face as a country. They normally say it is the triple challenges of poverty, unemployment, and equality. How do we take this sector, help it to create jobs, to generate income, to be able to absorb and contribute to the national questions that we face as a country? We know that the South African government, which is led by the African National Congress, has been trying for years to figure out this industry. And we know that it has been a long journey. 30 years in, we are still at sea. We are still as confused as we have ever been. The policies are there. They have been passed. It's just for us to figure out and add more to be able to make sure that they make sense. Hopefully this dialogue, and many to come, and the wisdom of everyone here will be able to help us as practitioners to figure out this industry and make it work. We are also aware that to many, Chair, the industry is always defined as a song and dance industry. But we are more than that. You know, in some of our divisions and sectors, we have architects. In some, we have software designers, and we know they can't really be song and dance, unless at a party. But we are far much bigger than that. As I explained earlier, there's about 9 sectors defined in South Africa. There's 45 subsectors. Some of the most developed economies in the world have realized this potential. They know this, and they are moving in the direction of trying to bolster it, to invest more in this industry so that it can contribute to the challenges that are faced globally by world economies. We recently, as a country, adopted the Cultural and Creative Industry Master Plan, which follows obviously after the adoption of the final, which I hope will be the final Arts and Culture white paper. The white paper has been with us since 1996, and we hope that it is the final draft. It has been adopted, and programs will emanate from there, that as we gather here, time and again, we'll be able to monitor its development and make sure that it makes the necessary impact. The white paper has outlived many economic policies, many economic policies. From 96, we've figured out, we've moved from RDP, we went to GEAR, from GEAR went to ASGISA, from ASGISA we went to this and this, and all in this, trying as a country to figure out how do we deal